Hello everyone, I am Chetan from the Department of English Tertiary College, Mysore, Karnataka. Today in this session I am going to talk about a famous poet and his poem, a poet called Pablo Neruda and a poem called You Start Dying Slowly. Pablo Neruda was a Chilean poet who began his career, literary career, writing career at the age of 13, and he first published his works in a newspaper called La Manana, and he has received numerous prestigious awards. And as well, to remember that, he has also received Nobel Prize for Literature in 1973. Talking about the poem, You Start Dying Slowly is a motivational poem which inspires to each and every reader, which also speaks about the importance of life, which also tells about to the readers like how we are supposed to lead a life because life is so beautiful and we need to enjoy each and everything whatever comes in our life as we cannot predict what comes next. So he says you start dying slowly in his first stanza. If you do not travel, if you do not read, if you do not listen to the sounds of life, if you do not appreciate yourself. Yes, it is very true that by traveling, you gain knowledge, you meet new people, you experience new culture, new tradition, and everything. If you do not travel, you are missing all that. And then, what is the use of being in this earth? And if you do not read, again, which gains knowledge, so reading is must and should for every person, which gives you more knowledge, which enrich yourself and your behavior, your character, everything will improve. And if you do not listen to the sounds of life, the sounds again are the gift given by the God to us, and we should listen. We should be able to listen each and every sound, and let us enjoy that beautiful and uh, using sounds what comes in our life. And if you do not appreciate yourself, as we all know that appreciation is so important in our life, whatever whenever we do certain good things we expect some appreciation from others, but make sure that before you expect that appreciation from others, you learn to appreciate yourself. Whatever you are, appreciate yourself for what you are. And next he says, if you start dying slowly when you kill your self-esteem, when you do not let others help you. This ego, what we all have, is a major problem. Each and every person would have it. So he says that we should not be so egoistic at certain cases. If we really need of some help by some people, we should keep our ego aside and we should welcome to the people who can really help us. That will definitely change our life. If you keep that ego in yourself and if you stop yourself, if you restrict yourself from the people, that is nothing but again you are dying slowly and you are losing something better what would come in your future for you. So moving to the next, he says, you start dying slowly if you become a slave of your habits, walking every day on the same paths, if you do not change your routine. So again, this first line is repeated in all the stanzas. You start dying slowly. That is a kind of an alarm what he is giving, saying that you will die slowly. You will start dying slowly if you do not follow the things what I am saying to you. So that is how he is trying to inspire the readers. Where here in this poem, in this particular stanza, he says, if you become a slave of your habits, definitely here the poet is not talking about the bad habits, but sorry, he's talking only about the bad habits, but not about the good habits. So he says, you don't be a slave for the habits, whatever you will have in your life. So better you should have a control over your habits in order to live peacefully and walking every day on the same path. That means we need a change in our life. We cannot be, because every day is not a Monday. So we need to have some changes in the life. So whenever the situation demands you to change certain things, you have to change for it. You cannot stick on to what you are. And next he says, if you do not change your routine, so we cannot follow the same routine every day and every year. We need to make some changes in it. If you do not wear different colors, we all believe that the colors is something which gives more and more muse to our work, to whatever we do on, whatever the work we are into. So he says that keep on changing the colors, which inspires you, which motivates you, which gives you that muse, interest, and which impress you to do more work. Or you do not speak to those you don't know. And we know that we are social animal. So it says that you have that habit of speaking to new people, involve yourself with the people, be a social animal, so that you learn many good things by the people, but make sure that you are connected with some good people over here. Next, he says you start dying slowly if you avoid to feel passion and the turbulent emotions, those which make your eyes glisten and your heart beat fast. So here he is talking more about the passion and emotions. Again, the first line you see to it, it is repeated, which means again the poet is warning to the reader, saying that if you are not doing all these things, then you are dying slowly. So the passion is important, emotions is important. Whatever happy or the joy we cannot expect it every moment, in every challenge. Every day is a new challenge for all of us. We don't know whether we are going to end the day with happiness or with some sad sorrow or melancholy. So we just have to be prepared for whatever comes. We can't expect only the happiness every time and every day. So he says that make sure that you are prepared for it. So success and failure equally we should accept it. And he says those which make your eyes glisten. And there are certain things which brings certain glisten, tears in our eyes. That is what we call it as an emotion, and your heartbeat fast. So when you are highly emotional to certain things, the heartbeat, there is a variation in your heartbeat. That is nothing but the attachment what you have towards that particular concept. Next, moving to next, he says that you start dying slowly if you do not change your life when you are not satisfied with your job or with your love. So little controversial here when it comes to point of the second subject, that is with your love. But when you see it again, the first line, there is a warning given by the poet to his readers, and he says, if you do not change your life when you are not satisfied with your job, make sure that we have only one life, and let us lead that life as per our requirement. So if you think that you are not happy about what you are doing, make sure that you are changing something for yourself, because at the end of the day you are living for yourself. So make sure, if you are not satisfied with what work you are doing, with what profession you are into, with what position you're into, if you think that you are so frustrated, you are suffocated in what work you are doing, then better you change that. Don't take any chance of doing it, because we all have only one life, and if you want to lead that life happily, then we need to make all these changes in our life, whether it is inevitable or whether it is required or whatever. But we need to make certain changes even with the love, he says. If you do not risk what is safe for the uncertain, as I mentioned before, it says that life is we cannot predict what is tomorrow, what is next hour. So he says that have that guts of taking risk. Don't be so safe at home. Don't be so sensitive. Be always ready. Prepare yourself like a warrior. Face the life, face the time, and face everything, whatever comes into you. If you do not go after a dream, if you do not allow yourself at least once in your lifetime to run away from sensible advice, you see here, he's talking about the dream, which is also very important, because every individual will definitely have his own kind of a dream. And whereas we cannot say that dream is something bad or dream is something uh, totally offense, because it will not take any kind of a permission of years to pitch in your life. So dream is good, but do not go after a dream. He says that make sure that you are the one who are making a decision about the dream, whatever comes into you. So make sure that you have a control over your dreams. And if you do not allow yourself at least once in your life, means don't be so stubborn, don't be so strict, don't restrict yourself with every restrictions. Make sure that you are having some of your own space. Make sure that you're giving your idea a space and a platform to you, and just go with whatever you like to. So, with all these points, Pablo Neruda has explained wonderfully about the poem, where he has taken up the main theme here is the life, like how we take, because there are people who complicate their life. There are people who think that if there is a problem, that is the end of everything, but not at all. There are certain ways what we need to sit and think about it, and we need to make certain changes in it. That is what Pablo Neruda has spoken in his wonderful poem called "You Start Dying." Thank you.